This is the easy money I'd make first. If you stripped away everything I have right now, every account, every client, every system, and left me with $0 and just a laptop, I would not panic, because I already know exactly what I would do first. And it has nothing to do with crypto, nothing to do with stocks, and nothing to do with any business idea that takes 6 months to even start making sense. Let me tell you about someone named Marcus. Marcus is 24 years old. Last year he had $0 saved, a job he hated, and a phone full of get-rich-quick videos he had watched but never actually acted on. He kept waiting for the perfect idea, something original, something nobody else was doing. He waited 8 months. He made nothing. Then he stopped waiting for an original idea and instead copied something boring, something unoriginal, something that already worked for thousands of other people. Within 30 days, he made his first $400. Within 90 days, $2,800 a month, not from a secret. From something so simple, most people scroll right past it looking for something more exciting. That is exactly what I'm gonna walk you through today. Not theory, not someday money. The actual boring, unglamorous first move that turns $0 into real cash fastest in 2026. And exactly why almost everyone overlooks it, chasing something flashier. Here's the mistake Marcus made for those first 8 wasted months, and it's the same mistake nearly everyone with $0 makes. He was searching for an idea that felt new, something nobody had done before. He thought original meant valuable. But original ideas are unproven ideas, and unproven ideas take the longest to make any money because you have to convince people something works before you can convince them to pay you for it. When you have $0, you cannot afford to spend months convincing the market that an idea is even real. You need something that already has a market, something where the only question left is whether you can deliver it, not whether anyone wants it. So here's exactly what I would do in order starting from zero today. The first thing I would make money from is something most people consider beneath them, and that is precisely why it pays so fast. I would sell a skill I already have to someone who needs it solved right now. Not a course, not a product, a direct service. Sold to one person for one specific outcome this week. Writing a single email sequence for a small business, cleaning up someone's spreadsheet, editing a short video, setting up a simple website. None of these require new skills. They require looking honestly at what you already know how to do and finding the one person nearby who needs exactly that today and would pay to not have to do it themselves. Marcus did not start with some elaborate online business. He started by messaging 11 local business owners offering to manage their social media posting for a flat $100 a week. Because he had spent 2 years posting on his own accounts and understood even just a little what made content get attention. 9 of them ignored him, 2 said yes. That was his first $200 in week 1. With $0 of starting capital and nothing but a phone and some honest messages. This works because of a simple truth almost nobody says out loud. Most small businesses are not looking for the cheapest option. They are looking for the option that requires the least effort from them. If you can take a real specific problem off someone's plate this week, the price barely matters compared to the relief of not having to deal with it themselves. That is where the fastest first dollars almost always come from. Not building something from nothing, selling relief from something that already exists. The second thing I would do is stack small repeatable wins instead of chasing one big idea. After Marcus landed his first 2 clients, he did not stop to build a fancy system or design a logo. He simply repeated exactly what worked. Same message, slightly improved, sent to 20 more business owners the following week. 3 more said yes. He was not reinventing anything. He was running the same simple play again and again, refining it slightly each time based on what got a response and what got ignored. This matters because when you have $0, you also have 0 room for complicated systems that take weeks to build before they produce a single dollar. The fastest path to real money is always the simplest repeatable action you can take 20 times in a week, not the cleverest idea you can build once over a month. Marcus' entire first month of income came from one repeated message template and a phone. Nothing automated, nothing fancy, just volume applied to something that already worked. The third thing I would do almost immediately after the first few dollars started coming in is reinvest a piece of every single payment straight back into making the next sale easier, not into ads, not into a course about scaling into small, boring tools that removed friction from doing the work itself. Marcus spent his first $100 of profit on a simple scheduling tool that let him plan a week of posts for a client in under 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. That single tool meant he could take on triple the clients with the same amount of time. He was not investing in growth. He was investing in speed because at $0, time is the only resource you actually have in abundance, and anything that buys that time back multiplies everything else. The fourth thing I would do is raise my price the moment I had real proof, not before. Marcus charged $100 a week for his first 2 clients because he had nothing to point to, yet no results, no testimonials, nothing but a promise. By his 3rd month, he had screenshots showing one client's engagement had tripled. He used that single piece of proof to raise his price to $400 a month for every new client after that point. And nobody blinked because he was no longer selling a promise. He was selling evidence. Most people are too afraid to raise their price even slightly, and they leave thousands of dollars on the table over a year simply because they never stopped charging beginner prices long after they stopped being a beginner. The 5th thing I would do, and this is the part that actually turns this from a quick $100 into a real income, is narrow down to the one offer that worked best and stop doing everything else. Marcus had dabbled in video editing and writing and basic website fixes during those first few months, taking whatever job appeared. But the social media management offer was the one that kept producing the fastest yeses and the easiest results. So by month 4, he dropped everything else and focused entirely on that one offer for one type of client, delivered the exact same repeatable way every single time. That focus is what took him from $2,800 a month to over $6,000 a month by the end of the year. Not because the idea changed, but because he stopped spreading himself across 5 different things and went all in on the one thing that was already clearly working. Here's what all 5 of these steps add up to, because none of them work alone. Selling a real skill to a real person gets you your first dollars this week, not in 6 months. Repeating the same simple action removes the need for some complicated system you cannot afford to build yet. Reinvesting in speed instead of growth lets you serve more people without working more hours. Raising your price once you have proof stops you from underselling yourself out of fear. And focusing entirely on the one offer that is already working turns a few $100s into a real sustainable income. None of this requires a viral idea. None of it requires existing capital, a perfect plan, or some advantage Marcus had that you do not. It requires picking one real skill you already have, finding one person nearby who needs it solved, and being willing to do something unglamorous long enough for it to actually work. If I had $0 in 2026 and had to start completely over, this is genuinely where I would begin. Not the exciting idea, the boring one that already pays, because the people making real money right now did not wait for the perfect idea to show up. They picked the obvious one sitting right in front of them and simply did it before everyone else talked themselves out of it. If you want to see exactly how I would scale this past the first $1,000 a month, I have left that video right up there. Subscribe if you want to keep building. I will see you in the next one.